done that. Yes, Windmiller is a possibility, but his knowledge and what I'm about to approach him over on the 8th is his knowledge of our laws here in Australia needs some fine-tuning. Okay. Yeah, we're still walking down this road. We've got Peter's going to enlighten you a little bit later about the international courts and how they can operate here. So, but we need an input from all of the people who are a part of this class action. Ideally, I would like to see an amount of around about 150,000 to really. This was given to me by John Walsh, a barrister we used a few years ago. He was not as good as what we thought originally, but one thing he did say was when you do take any of these constitutional challenges into the court system, you will need at least a minimum of 150,000. This then allows the barrister and the solicitor to be comfortable and to then start the process off at the lower courts and then establish, by the time we get to the High Court, then we've gone through the process that they expect, and then we go on the arguments that have been argued in those courts, and we end up in the High Court on an arguing interpretation of the Constitution with respect to. So, and where the other courts have erred. So this is what we really need to do, yes.
As far as getting to the High Court, doesn't the magistrate have the authority to refer directly to the High Court?
Oh, absolutely.
Used to have, but it's been taken away.
It's been taken away. You should be able to go there by affidavit, but they have. This is what I mean. When they took away our right to the royal prerogative, they've been shutting the door slowly. The 2008 Evidence Act is also evidence that they are waking up to what we're hearing in this room, and they are scrubbing out the laws, and they have no right to do that. But to the average punter, they're getting away with it to a certain degree.
This getting money.
Well, yeah, we'll go.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, it's probably
Sizzle, hold, sausage.
Russell. Yeah.
So there's no lawyer that will stand up and tell the judge he's wrong. Yeah. That's why you're wasting your time with a lawyer.
But
you can only get an older guy who doesn't give a shit anymore and really
yeah.
Robert Richter.
Yeah. Boring. Yeah, but where are they, mate? Really, we have been putting it out there. We're now just shy of putting a big ad in the paper. No. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. We're open. We're open.
Is everybody for the $10? Donation $10, we get the.
But now I learned on the donation trail. I did when I was helping a group in Geelong with respect to fluoride. We were trying to raise the money to get legal counsel to challenge the implementation of fluoride. Now we were lucky enough to have a gentleman who was a professional fundraiser. Give us some advice. And he said it's not a good idea to just ask for $10 off everybody, because there are people out there who can afford a lot more, and they will see their obligation free once they put the $10 into the donation tray. And he was suggesting that a committee is formed, and then people, volunteers come in, and they then target their specific socio group and ask them for donations, which this gentleman did successfully for a church that had burnt down in London, and managed to source £600,000 from Queen Elizabeth. Okay, so we need to be careful when raising this money. There are people out there who can afford a lot more. We don't want to discriminate then, because this means this is for everybody. Now, we've established a trust fund through the United Christian Community Law Group, which is the heading of the writ into the Supreme Court, so that's where any monies would go, and it's there to be used only for the court case itself. But of course,
Does that mean Muslims aren't allowed to? Sorry.
We're not going to discriminate, like I said before.
We're going to have to wrap up soon. We've had 2 hours, believe it or not. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? The thing is that what we've just discovered is that the International Criminal Court has been given jurisdiction over Australia. Now, this is given by the Criminal Court Act 2002, and it's got some interesting aspects. I'll sit down and just explain it, and you can watch it on the screen. The principal object of the Act is to facilitate compliance with Australia's obligations under the statute. Now, the statute is the word statute means the statute of the International Criminal Court, done at Rome on the 17th of July 1998, a copy of the English text of which is set out in Schedule 1. Now, Schedule 1 is the schedule to that Act. By sections 12 and 13 of the Acts Interpretation Act, a schedule is part of a law, and it's part of the Act. So that Act incorporates this schedule. Article 15.1 says the prosecutor may initiate investigations proprio motu on the basis of information on crimes within the jurisdiction of the court. Now, I had to look up proprio motu. I'm pretty good, but I'm not good enough to know what the bloody hell that meant. The Dictionary of Difficult Words says, by one's own motion of your own initiative, proprio vigore, by its own force independently. Now, these crimes against humanity are section 268.10, enslavement, and that includes enslavement by debt. So we've got a bunch of banks, and when we've been started to rattle their cages in the magistrates' court, who've stood up and said, we won't ask for costs, Your Honour, and bow their nice little barrister head, and have walked out. Now, they've left this particular person alone for quite a while. It's about 4 months now. He's still in his house after the sheriff picked him up and carted him out, and he went back in again. The second crime is deportation. We've got one of those cases pending at the moment. There was one